At Zacco, we always say that our customers are our heroes. They are the innovators and the creatives that can change the world. But over the next few weeks and months, we'd like to put the spotlight on some other heroes, Star for Life Ukraine, and all of the people who work there. Zacco has been supporting Star for Life for many years, and Star for Life Ukraine since they started in 2022. They are a non-political, non-profit organisation that we believe are doing some amazing work supporting children in Ukraine through ongoing skills development and mental well-being. We think that this is a great organisation, and we want to spread the word about what they do. We would like to support them and promote them by telling their story and introducing them to our own audience. Today, our video will present some of the facts around Star for Life Ukraine, who they are, what they represent. We'll provide some of the background around why they were established, what they hope to achieve, and how you can contribute to their good work, both now and in the future.
My name is Patrick Thorn, and I'm here today with Dennis Volovic, CEO of Star for Life Ukraine. Great to have you here, Dennis.
Hi, Patrick. Thank you very much for having me here. It's a privilege to be here with you and talk about our work.
We have had Star for Life as our main CSR project for several years at Zacco. We started with Star for Life South Africa, and we were really impressed by the result. I have also personal experience from Star for Life from more than 15 years, and I have visited several of your schools, talked to a lot of teachers and children, and it has always made a great impact on me. In 2022, I think a lot of us started to think about what can we do for Ukraine. And I was so happy when you contacted us and said that you and Star for Life had plans for the Ukraine. You were telling us about some of the work that you planned for the country. So maybe that's where we should start, Dennis, by you telling us a little bit about Star for Life in general, and more specifically about Star for Life Ukraine, where it was first established, and some of the challenges that you are trying to solve.
Thank you, Patrick, for this question. And before I answer it, I would like to say that I'm very proud about our partnership and about the social impact that we are able to deliver together. And coming to the history, as you already mentioned, Star for Life has quite a long history. It started approximately 17 years ago in Africa. And the organization, the foundation was founded by Dan Olafsson and his wife, Christine. And so far, the organization worked with more than 500,000 kids in Africa, and today all over the world, we can say. We were planning to start Star for Life Ukraine in 2021, so the plan started, and we were analyzing the situation and making research. And the thing is that our mission in Ukraine is to provide underprivileged children with the education, access to education, to the quality education, disregarding the geographical location, disregarding the social background. But unfortunately for us, the full-scale invasion of Russia started in Ukraine, and we had to act very quickly. And that's where we started our operation. So we may say that in 2022, officially Star for Life Ukraine started. And also the thing that I really appreciate that you guys were behind us exactly at that moment, and we were able to, scale very quickly. So we had developed the curriculum for kids, we engaged the mentors, and we started our operation on the ground in Ukraine. But what I have to admit here that even though we work with underprivileged children, we have to say that unfortunately, but term underprivileged in Ukraine is rather broad now, because every child in Ukraine suffers from the psychological war trauma. That's why we also implement some mental health, programs in the framework of what we do at Star for Life Ukraine. But that's basically about history. We started in 2022, and from that time we grow quite fast. Primarily because of the demand that we have in Ukraine, but at the same time because of our partners, and that has to be highlighted as well.
Thank you, Dennis. One of the things that has always stood out with Star for Life is its focus on children and young people. And I think that is something that really resonates on us all. Now, you and your team has been on the ground since 2022 in Ukraine. Can you give us some information about how it's been so far, and what are your plans for the nearest future for the country?
Thank you, Patrick. This is also a very important question about our plans. It's very difficult to plan these days in Ukraine anything because the situation is quite difficult. But as I mentioned before, the main mission of Star for Life is still to work with underprivileged children. We realize that because of the war, many, maybe even a couple of generations, they left Ukraine. I mean, kids with their parents, of course. And those kids who are going to, enter universities and finish their schools and go to universities in Europe and other countries, which is very important for us as Ukraine, as a country, to bring those kids later to Ukraine with the experiences and knowledge that they have. But at the same time, we realize that we may have also a gap in our development, generation gap, right? To some extent, our mission is also to find a hidden gem in Ukraine that unfortunately, because primarily of the economic reasons, the state was not really concentrated on, and those kids from villages, from small towns. So we are going there as an organization and help them to find their path in life, basically to realize their dreams. With the IT education, with the knowledge of foreign languages, and also with the support of the mental health, which is also very important in this particular situation. I don't want to say that we are replacing the state in these days, but at the same time, we have to be aware of the fact that state has very different priorities currently. And so we basically are a helping hand to the government, to the country. That's why we collaborate very closely with the Ministry of Education, with the local authorities, and we're happy that these days we don't need to look where to go, because this needs that come to us, and whenever we see there is a need, so we go there. An example I will give you: we're organizing an offline event in Kharkiv, which we all know the city unfortunately is in the headline of the news all over the world. We realize that kids there are suffering from the too much of the online education. And so we go there to organize offline events together with the local partners, with the local authorities in the shelter, but to make sure those kids have the same the same activities as our kids in Lviv, for example, or other cities, or even in the cities in Europe. So we will keep working on that, increasing our offline presence. And again, thanks to our partners, we are able to do that, to establish the computer classes all over Ukraine in the schools, and engage kids into the offline education through us as well.
Now we're getting closer to summertime, and schools are closed. And that's where you really come in and organize activities for the children. Can you tell us something about the plans that you have now for the summer vacation?
Yeah, that's absolutely true, Patrick. When summer starts for us, it's just the beginning of the season, probably. So we're happy to say that from year to year we organize summer camps. This year we will also have a summer camp, one standards camp that we usually do, but another one will be an all-Ukrainian national tournament for kids that are progressing in IT education. So they already went through several phases, and now they are getting into the final stage where they come to the place where we organize our camp, and then we'll be competing there for the final prize. But it's not about prize actually, but it's actually about the product that they developed themselves, and this is learning management system. And this is a complex thing, but I was amazed how those kids of the ages, from 13 till 16 years old, they are able to deliver that. It's impressive. We have we call them judges to the tournament, so they're all from all over the world, the mentors, people from who work for our partners, they dedicate the time to help and to support us, which is really important, especially at this stage of development things in Ukraine. But at the same time, we have our project which called Girls in Tech. With this project, we are tackling the gender inequality in IT, in the tech world generally. This is a very needed project for us because we realize that there is a gender gap in Ukraine. Compared to Scandinavian countries, the situation is different. But if we're looking at the global perspective, so Ukraine is not far from that, and we see this balance. Surprisingly to me, in Ukraine, kind of a conservative society, so they consider the girls and tech world something not connected, so there's kind of stigma maybe. But we can prove this statement is wrong, because we started our pilot with 100 kids last year, but this year we got more than 1,000 applications. And again, thanks to our partners, we managed to onboard all of them to this program, where they have the IT skills developed, but also the mental health program, which we call Mental Boost, and also the leadership program, where we invite women from the tech world, from all over the world, and they share with Ukrainian girls their experiences. And actually, those meetings, they are more like a friends club, and it was also inspiring when they talk about so many different things, not only about IT related, but our colleagues that we invite to speak to the girls, they are actually sharing their life experiences, from different perspectives. But of course, to add to that, we work with our online school, which we do regularly, and there we teach kids the Python, the Java. These are mostly the online education in IT programming, also the English language school, because we believe that this is very important for Ukrainian kids to be a part of the global community, right? And because we have this possibility, Start for Life is all over the world in Africa. We have also the establishment in East Jerusalem, where my colleagues work hard. So we will soon have another project with the kids from East Jerusalem and Ukrainian kids working together on projects in the learning thing. And this is something that we were always, aiming to achieve. So kids, disregarding the geographical location, the ethnicity, they primarily are global citizens, they people of Earth, and this collaboration should deliver success and progress rather than difficulties in communication or not understanding each other. So as you see, the plans are huge. The goals are huge, and again, thanks to our partners, we are able to achieve those goals, and we will keep working, having you guys behind us and people like you behind our backs, because this is what drives us together with the those smiles of the kids and the questions and comments and the feedback.
It's fantastic to hear you talk, Dennis, and it's so inspiring. Everybody's so impressed by what you and your team are doing in Ukraine, building Ukraine's future by creating a solid foundation for the children to come back to. And as you have explained, this is a combination of skills development, boosting mental health, and try to mitigate the traumas that all children that lives in a war zone are faced by. Over the next videos, we will go deeper into some of the projects that you talked about. We will be interviewing teachers, psychologists. We will meet some children and hear what they say. And also hear how you work to prepare them for the new normal, so that they have something to believe in and to return to once the war is over. So thank you very much, Dennis. It's been fantastic to hear and talk to you and to give us an insight into Start for Life and Start for Life Ukraine. For you as a listener, if you want to have more information, you can follow the links below. but you are of course also welcome to contact me or Dennis directly, and we will be happy to have a conversation with you about Start for Life. So thank you, Dennis, for this time.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you for having me here, and thank you guys, you and your colleagues, for helping us in our work. This is very important for I think all of us today.